As you can tell from the intro, I wanted to learn Bush's Machinehead, and the song has like a crunchy rhythm part to it. It has a lot of 16th note muted strumming. I really wanted to get better at that. It had octave parts, it had double stop parts. So I was looking for an amp that could do all those things. And when I found a great high gain crunch sound, I would tend to get a lot of harmonics out of the muted part, which is probably just bad technique on my part. But nonetheless, I ended up settling on the ENGL Powerball, and it seemed to be a nice compromise among all of the things I was looking for. Let's take a closer look at it. The Powerball has two main channels, but each of those have two distinct modes, so you have four basic starting sounds. The GUI design here is nice and helps you learn how to use the amp. A combination of the channel LED and the gain low high LEDs lets you select among the four channels, and you can see the volume lights for each channel light, so you know where you are. If I turn off both LEDs, you can see the clean volume LED illuminates. When I turn on the gain LED, the crunch volume lights up. Likewise, if I switch to channel 2 with the gain on, aka the low/high, then high lead volume is on. And with it off, the low lead volume is on. The channel, gain low high, open focused, presence for pushing the highs and depunch for pushing the lows, along with the master controls, are all considered global controls. The remainder are channel or mode specific, and as you would expect, the top row affects channel 1 and the bottom row affects channel 2. In channel 1, you get separate treble and volume controls for the clean and the crunch modes. The bright and bottom buttons affect both modes. In channel 2, the low lead bottom high and high lead bottom buttons are not like channel 1's bright and bottom buttons. Each button is specific to the mode that you've selected. The two mid-range controls affect both modes, but only one of them is active at a time, and that is selected with the open focused button. In channel 1, that button just toggles between, and I'll quote the manual, open for a looser tone, focused for a tighter mid-range voicing. It does that for channel 2 as well, but for each of the settings, you can control how much boost is in the mid-range for open or focused. I wasn't trying to duplicate the sound of the amp on the record. I needed more talent enhancement than that, so I searched for something that I thought worked with my abilities and the various parts of the song. I used the open mid-range setting on the high lead for channel 2. I pushed the mids a little, turned on the high lead bottom. The presence and treble are close to noon, and the depunch is around 11. The rest of my setup here is the phaser 10. The song definitely does not use a phaser, but I needed to practice with pedals to get better at using them without tripping, so I added one for that purpose, and I liked the effect. The intro also repeats 5 times, and something happens at each repetition except for the 4th time. So it's a nice memory jog for me to turn on the phaser for the 4th repeat and then turn it off for the 5th right before going into the rhythm part. I also have a noise gate because I always have a noise gate. I don't want to hear the amp hiss when I'm not playing. The rack has the plate reverb with a size of 221, a decay of 1604, no pre-delay, the color at 0, the modulation at 0, the high-pass filter at 22, so that's wide open, and the mix at 5%. I didn't change the cabinet or speakers. I was likely experimenting with microphones and ended up with the Ribbon 121 on the floor speaker and the SM57 up high. The room is the hall, with the overheads fairly tight, but the room mix is way down, about 30 dB. If you want to hear more of the amp or make fun of a beginning guitar player or even offer helpful criticism, here are some snippets from the song.